Let's see how you can edit your audio. In this project, I have a selection of different tracks with audio files within the arrangement area. Reaper refers to these audio files as items. If you want to move them around, you can just click on an item and move it. It'll be confined to the grid. You can disable or enable the grid from the toolbar here, and then your item will move around more freely. If you're in grid mode and you want the item not to snap to the grid, then when you move it, then make sure you're holding down the Shift key. You can duplicate an item by simply holding the Command key on the Mac or Control on the PC and dragging it. It'll either snap to the end of the adjacent item or to the next point on the grid. If you use the Shift key, this will select any areas within your selection. Or use Command on the Mac or Control on the PC to select specific items. If you hold down Option on the Mac or Alt on the PC while dragging an item, it alters the starting point of the audio within the item region, but not the region itself. It'll still remain in the same position. But you'll notice the audio within will not change. Let's just zoom in a bit closer here so you can see what I mean. Here you have your audio handles, where you can extend or decrease an item. You can extend it on the left here, or the right. You see how it just extends the item. If it's a loop, it'll extend the loop. These little corners show that it's a loop, which makes it quite easy to create loop-based music, such as dance and hip-hop styles, which are very loop-orientated. Let's just delete these loops quickly. If you right-click on the audio items, you'll see more editing features. You can change the colors. You might find you want to alter the colors so it gives you a visual aid. Maybe you want to remind yourself visually that after this hit, the next section occurs. I find that coloring items comes in very handy to organize your song arrangement. You can also reverse items. So let's take this bass line over here. If I right-click, then I go to reverse items as new take. You see it'll make two takes here. One is the normal, and the one is the reverse. Then you got your splitting of items. You'll see that here I've selected multiple audio items. I did this by selecting the first, then holding down Command on the Mac or Control on the PC to select the others. And then I can glue them back together again. Voila, the audio is back to one piece. And you can split items by cursor. Let's just undo that quickly. I like the name of this option here. Heel splits and items. Adds a bit of a medical terminology to your DAW. There are other split options, like split at time selection, which makes it nice to split multiple items at once. You can remove items via the menu, or you can simply select the item and hit the delete key on your keyboard. You can select multiple items and then use the cut options under the edit menu to paste them elsewhere in the arrangement. And let's just paste that there. Great, let's move on. If you use the selection tool to create a selection, you can then use that as a looped area. So when you want to edit an item, set the loop selection and edit the area while you listen to it. You can grab the handles at the top by the timeline to change the selection area. And then you have the nudge feature, which allows you to nudge items by a specified amount. You have different parameters that you can set to nudge the items. You can see here we got milliseconds, seconds, grid units. Let's go with grid units and nudge it around. If you haven't already noticed, these editing functions are non-destructive. They don't permanently change the audio, which is great to know. You don't want to make all these changes and the next minute you can't go back and get back to where you started. Well, there's some of the basic editing tools. We'll cover more of them as we go along. Next, we'll take a look at the mixer window and what options we have there.